Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Imagine getting a call in the middle of the night and the voice on the other end already knows you are not safe. On a quiet rain-soaked night, Naomi senses something is terribly wrong, but she has no idea just how real that danger is. As fear closes in around her, she is abducted and taken somewhere dark and unfamiliar, only to come face to face with someone she never expected to betray her, Ren. So let's really step into this moment because everything about it feels off from the very beginning. It's just before midnight, and there's this slow, steady rain falling over a quiet suburban neighborhood. Not the kind of rain that suits you. No, this one feels different. It's constant, almost suffocating, like it's washing the world in silence. The streets are empty, shining under the streetlights, and everything looks calm on the outside. But you know, that kind of calm that doesn't feel right. That's exactly what this is. Inside her house, Nam is sitting on the couch, curled up, holding her phone like its only thing grounded her. Her fingers are trembling slightly, and she doesn't even fully understand why. She just has this feeling that something isn't right. You know that instinct you get sometimes when nothing is technically wrong, but your body is screaming at you anyway. That's where she is. What makes it even more unsettling is that just a few hours ago, everything was fine. She had been laughing, probably feeling light, maybe even hopeful about life, and now that version of her feels like it belongs to someone else entirely. It's like the night came in and replaced everything with this heavy, suffocating tension. She glances toward the window. The curtains move slightly, shadows shifting in a way that makes her uneasy. Then a car passes outside, slowly its headlights sweeping across the room. For just a second before disappearing again into darkness, that brief flash of light almost feels like someone checking in, like someone watching. She exhales, trying to calm herself down, trying to convince herself she's overthinking. But that feeling, it doesn't go away. Now, while all of this is happening, somewhere else, far from that quiet house, Ren is standing in the shadows of an abandoned warehouse. Completely different environment, right? Cold, dark, empty, the kind of place where nothing good ever happens. His phone buzzes. He looks at the screen, and the message is short. Just two words, it's done. And that's it. Ren tightens his jaw slightly. Now here's the thing. This moment, he's been expecting it, planning for it, everything should be going exactly how he intended. But something feels off. Like the reality of it isn't matching what he imagined. He's someone who thrives on control, on knowing every step before it happens. But tonight, that sense of control is slipping, and you can tell it bothers him more than he's willing to admit. He slowly turns toward the inside of the warehouse, and this is where everything hits. Because inside, there are two men standing there, and between them is Naomi. Her body is restrained, her head slightly lowered, her hair falling across her face. She is not fully out, she is conscious, but barely, disoriented, vulnerable. The men glance at each other nervously as Ren approaches. Whatever confidence they had, it fades under his presence. Ren speaks quietly, almost too calmly. Questioning them, he reminds them that this was supposed to be handled cleanly. One of the men quickly reassures him, says no one saw anything, says Naomi didn't even have the chance to scream. But Ren doesn't immediately react. Instead, he just looks at her, really looks at her, like he's searching for something in her face. Maybe a reason, maybe a justification for everything that's just happened. For a split second, doubt crosses his expression, but it disappears just as fast. Now let's go back for a second to Naomi's house, because before all of this, before she ended up in that warehouse, things escalated fast. The silence in her house had become unbearable. You know that kind of silence where even the ticking clock feels too loud, every second feels like a warning, and then suddenly she can't take it anymore. She stands up almost impulsively, like her body is telling her she needs to move. She needs to leave. Staying there feels dangerous, even if she can't explain why. She grabs her keys, her hands shaky, and heads toward the door. But right before she can open it, her phone rings. And that sound, it cuts through everything, sharp, unexpected. She freezes, slowly looks at the screen. Unknown number. Now think about that moment. Do you answer? Do you ignore it? She hesitates, but something pushes her to pick it up. She answers carefully, says hello, and there is nothing, just silence. But not empty silence, there is a faint sound, like breathing. That's when her voice tightens. She asks who it is. Still nothing. And just when she's about to hang up, a voice, low, calm, unsettling. You shouldn't be alone tonight. And then the line goes dead. That's it. Now imagine how that feels, because at that point, it's no longer just a feeling. Someone knows. Someone is aware of her, of where she is. Panic kicks in. She steps back from the door, her heart racing. That sense of being watched, it's real now. And then, like something straight out of a nightmare, the lights flicker once, twice, and then everything goes dark. Complete darkness. She stands there frozen, trying to process what's happening. Her breathing quickens as she fumbles for her phone, using its dim light to see. She knows she has to get out. Now, she moves toward the door again, and that's when she hears it. Behind her. Footsteps. Before she can even react, someone grabs her. A hand clamps over her mouth, cutting off her scream. Another arm locks around her body, holding her tight. She fights, of course she does. Anyone would. She struggles with everything she has, but it's no use. Whoever this is, they're stronger. Then a voice whispers in her ear, telling her to relax, that it will be over soon. And then something sharp against her neck. Her body starts to weaken instantly. The world spins, her vision blurs, and the last thing she sees before everything goes black is the open door, freedom just out of reach. Now, fast forward back to the warehouse. Naomi slowly starts to regain consciousness. It's cold, damp. The air smells like rust and oil. Her head is pounding. Her body feels heavy, like she can't fully control it. She barely manages to speak, asking where she is. And then she sees him. Ren. Her confusion is immediate. He can hear it in her voice. She doesn't understand what's happening. And Ren, he just stands there for a moment, silent, watching her. Then he says something strange. 5 words, almost like he's counting, preparing himself. Nami is confused, trying to make sense of it. And then he steps closer, looks directly at her, and finally says it. I had no other choice. And that line, it hits hard. Nami doesn't accept it. She shakes her head, weak but certain, telling him that's not true, that there is always a choice. But Ran insists, not this time. And now the truth starts settling in for her. This wasn't random. This wasn't a mistake. He planned this. All of it. Her kidnapping, her fear, everything. And that realization, it breaks her. She asks him why. Her voice cracks, filled with pain. And for the first time, Ran hesitates. He tries to respond, but nothing comes out. Because whatever the reason is, it's not something he's ready to say. And while all of this is happening, somewhere else people are starting to notice Naomi is missing. The search has already begun. Calls are being made. People are getting worried, and the urgency is growing with every passing hour. They know something is wrong. They just don't know how bad it really is. Back in the warehouse, Nami's fading again. The emotional shock, the fear, it's all too much. But even then, she doesn't completely break. There's still something in her. She looks at Ren and tells him he thinks he's in control, but he's not. And whatever this is, it's going to destroy him. Ren's face hardens when she says that, but beneath it, there's doubt. Real doubt. And after everything, he quickly admits something that changes the tone completely. Maybe this isn't just a kidnapping story, it's a psychological breakdown of control. Trust and hidden motives. Naomi represents vulnerability but also resilience, even in her weakest moment. She doesn't fully surrender. That says a lot about her character. Ran, on the other hand, is the most complicated piece here. He planned everything, yet he's clearly struggling with it. That hesitation, that doubt, it tells us this isn't just about power. There's something deeper driving him, something he's not ready to confront. And the biggest twist, this isn't over. Not even close. Honestly, this one hits differently. Because betrayal from a stranger is one thing, but betrayal from someone you recognize, someone you trust, that cuts deeper. And I can't lie, Rand scares me more than anyone else in this story. Not because he's aggressive or loud, but because he's controlled, calculated, and yet he's starting to crack. That combination, that's dangerous. At the same time, Naomi's strength stands out. Even in fear, even in pain, she is still pushing back. And that makes me feel like she's not done fighting. Not by a long shot. So now the real question is what happens next? Will Naomi find a way to escape? Or is she already too deep in something she can't get out of? And what exactly pushed Ren to do this in the first place? I want to hear your thoughts. If you were Naomi, what would you do in that situation? And if we are Ren, is there ever a valid reason for something like this? Drop your answers in the comments below. And if this story pulled you in, make sure to like and subscribe because trust me, the next part is going to get even more intense.